Okay, now let's look at how to format. So these are all access object. So here you need to, in place of AXES, you should put the name of the access object. Okay, you may have more than one access object in a figure. So you can individually format the plots. So in our case, it will be like AX1. So AX1 dot set underscore title, then you can give a title to the plot. And then AX1 set X label. So this is for X label, that is X axis. You can set these five. Those 5 parameters are useful for us. So the first one, label, is the title for the entire x-axis. So in our case, it will be like country, right? Because these are the different countries. So x-axis title, set x label will be country, right? Now you can specify a scale. Okay. Usually we're not going to get into that very much. You can do a linear scale or a log scale. So those make sense only if it is a numeric column. When you use a numeric column for x-axis, then this makes sense. Then again, limit. Okay, you can, if you don't specify a limit, so all of these are optional, by the way, right? If you don't say, if you don't use any of them, nothing will happen. Xlim is good, so that is, you specify where to start and where to end. If it is a numeric axis, let's say you want to start from 0 and end at 250, then you can say, okay, Xlim is 0 to 250. Okay? And then you can say where the ticks must be. X-axis ticks. X-axis ticks is where you have tick marks. Where the tick marks should go, that is set with set X ticks. And then what should be the label corresponding to that tick mark? That is set X tick labels. Okay? And, and you have the same 5 for the y-axis. Y label, Y scale, Y lim, Y ticks, and Y tick labels. Okay. And then we have axis bar labels. So you have bar chart and you want to put the height of the bar. Sometimes you may omit the y-axis tick labels completely and put the height of the bars right above it. Okay, it makes it a little more easy to read. So you get bar labels, and the bar labels come from what is called containers. So axis is the name of the axis object. That container 0 has the values of the bar heights. And then we use that. And here are some more options. Where should the value label should go, how much padding should be there, and so on. Then if you have multiple y-axis values, so if you have line graph, and then you have multiple lines, one green, one red, and one blue, then you need a legend. So green stands for such and such, blue is this, and red is that. So that's your legend. And then where to put the legend? Okay, that's another option that you have. And then we have the parameters of the text. Okay, in each of these cases, you have text, right? You have title is the text, X label, Y label, the text, and tick label is text. Okay, how do you format those text? Okay, what font to use? It should be what color, what brightness, and so on. So these are the font dictionary. You specify that as a dictionary. Okay, font dictionary parameters. What is the font family? Okay. What is the color of the font? What is the weight? Bold and semi-bold and all that. And what is the style? Okay, normal, italic, oblique. I don't know what oblique. I tried it, same as the italic as far as I could tell. And size, of course, how big. Okay. So these are the parameters that we use. Okay, so here is a complete code with fully formatted gold medal bar chart. Okay, so you run that and you see this is what comes up, right? So let's look at each piece one by one. Okay, so that first part, which we already did this, right? This is what creates the bar graph. Okay, the first line creates the canvas, second line puts a plot object, axis object in there, and ax1.bar, it puts all the bars there. That's the bare bones bar chart. And then we give the title, ax1, okay, this is the set title for the axis object that we have created here, which is ax1. So ax1 title should be that, size should be this, color should be that, weight should be bold. All right, boom. So that's what you get here. And you can say style equal to italic, then it will become italic. Okay. Now format y-axis. Okay. So ax1 set y label, we say it's frequency, size. Okay. And we want the tick marks. All right, so we need to examine what kind of tick mark we need. So here it goes up to, so the largest is 137, say that we want to go from 0 to 140 in increments of 20. So the easiest way of doing that, of course, you can say the tick labels, white tick labels must be 0, 20, 40, 50. You can give a list of numbers you type in, but this is a lot more easier, so you can use the np.arange. Okay, remember arange function for NumPy. So arange function is starting point, starting value, stopping value, and increment. Three things you give. Okay, and make sure the stopping value is non-inclusive. So you need to make sure that the value that you provide for the stopping value is a little bit more than where you really want to stop. Okay, so we want to stop at 140. So if I put 140 there, 140 will not be here because it's not inclusive. So NP range 0, 150, 20. So it creates this list of numbers, and I say I want size of 14. Now format x-axis. Okay, x-axis label is country, size 24, and now we want the x ticks to be the index. X ticks is the index here because the x-axis is the index country. So ticks are now index values of the ticks. So there is no numerical length here. It is just one tick after the next wherever it tick is placed. Okay, and the tick labels are those indexes. So ticks are where the index is, and the index label is printed right below it. And here is the format for that. I've given a rotation because if you don't rotate, the names are running into each other. So it's obscuring, and it's not very good. You can experiment with rotation. Okay, if you put 90 degrees, it will be like this, right? And then more than 90 will go this way, less than 90 goes this way, okay? And then, of course, size. Value labels, okay, so that's what goes here, right? So AX1 bar label, so that's for your value label. And the value labels come from this particular object, okay? So you'll always use this object. Containers, the first one. Okay, containers has several things. The very first one is the height. So in square brackets, 0. Okay, and then you specify the formats. Okay, the type here is whether you want the number to be at the center or you want it to be at the top or at the bottom. Okay, so that's your label type. And padding is whether you want to pad, add additional spaces or take away spaces. If you use minus numbers, it'll bring it down from the edge. So from the edge, do you want the numbers, the labels to go up, or you want it to go down? Okay. And then we have PLT show. So that's how this chart is formatted. Now what you can do is, if you are going to use a consistent formatting scheme, so you want the titles to be formatted for all the charts that you're going to be creating, you want the same formatting parameter for the title, for the x-axis, for the y-axis. Then you can set them up as the dictionaries. So I have title font, right? Size is this, style, weight, color, then axis font, then tick font. So I have, so the key is the name of the parameter, and then the value corresponding to that is the value of that parameter. Okay, same here. So I have 3 dictionaries, one for title font, one for axis font, and one for tick font. Okay. Then you see here for the title, okay, instead of specifying all the different formats one by one, okay, I can simply say font dict equal to that dictionary name. So font dict equal to that dictionary name, then that dictionary will be expanded and all of those different formatting parameters will be used. Okay. And y-axis label, again font dict, okay, axis font, and then for x-axis the same thing. For y-axis, for tick labels, font tick labels is tick, font dict is tick font. Okay, the font for tick. And here we could have given a value label font as well. I didn't set up a value label font dictionary, so I have expanded and I changed the color to white, so the font color is white now. Okay. Okay, there is another way of setting the formatting parameters, and it gives it makes it a little more convenient for you. So that is, you can use the axis.set method. So instead of saying set underscore title, set underscore x label and y label and so on, just simply say set. And then you can put multiple things here. So title is this, y label is this, x label is that. So another way of doing it, but it has some limitations. I just want to show you how to do that.